Hi, my name is Rahul and today we are going to do the full review of Samsung Galaxy M51 and see it is the best device available around the 20k price point. So in terms of box standard, it has 25-watt charger with adaptive fast charging. Then there is a USB Type-C to Type-C cable and the quick charge guide and warranty information. No headphones, no earphones or no covers, back cover or anything like that. The display it has is a 6.7-inch Full HD Plus Infinity or Super AMOLED display with a 392 ppi. It has a peak brightness of 420 night brightness. It has good color protection, sunlight eligibility. It has very thin bezels, and because it's an AMOLED panel, obviously it offers true black. The screen is protected by Corner Glass 3. Even though it has 420 nits brightness, outdoor legibility is very average because it has a very reflective panel. That's kind of disappointing, and it does not have the other features like even though there is the dark mode, it does not have DC dimming or low brightness anti-flicker mode. It's okay display for the price, not great or not amazing anything like that. In terms of design, on the back actually there is a quad camera module arranged in a rectangular array, and there is a single LED flash next to the camera module. The phone has shiny plastic frame, it attracts fingerprints, but it is not that slippery. On the right side, there is a fingerprint sensor which doubles up as a power button just below the volume lockers. On the left side, there is a single tray that houses dual nano SIM slots and micro SD card slot. And on the top, there is a microphone, and on the bottom also there is 3.5 audio jack, USB Type C port, loudspeaker grill, and the primary microphone. It has only single loudspeaker, nothing like it does not have a dual speaker, and it's a it's a fingerprint magnet. As I mentioned, it feels nice on the hand even though it weighs 230 gram and has a 9.5 thick. It feels nice on the hand because of the balanced weight distribution. And as I mentioned, it has a triple card slot, and so you can use dual nano sims and a micro SD card slot which accepts cards up to 512 GB. You can see the face unlock and fingerprint unlock is pretty fast. Call quality is pretty nice. I have used it with Airtel and Geo, but the speaker quality is below average. I don't think it has a great good speaker. I wish in the next Galaxy M series or M51 sequel we can see a better speakers. I hope. In the battery department, it has a 7000 mAh battery, and because of the 25-watt charging, we can charge the phone in 1 hour 50 minutes from 0 to 100%. The battery backup is amazing. For the time I use, I have every time I have gotten a 10 plus hours of SOT every time. So the battery backup is amazing if you ask me. So coming to the software, the phone runs on Android 10 with Android latest security patch, and on the top of Android 10, it has the One UI 2.0, which is the Samsung's on skin, and the latest. Unlike the previous M series phone, this one has a screen recording. There is advanced feature options like games launcher. Uh, Then there is a screenshot, director, motion, gestures, lift to wake up, double to wake up, smart share, smart alert, etc. It works pretty fine. The RAM management also is pretty good. So it's very smooth even though it is a 60 hertz panel because of the animations of the skin. So you can see that if we go into the camera to API, you can see that it has a level 3 support, hardware level support for the camera to API. So you can install Google Camera, and I had tried it. The Google Camera I had was not that amazing in terms of results. So it is okay. Then there is DRM info. If you check, it has L1 support. That means you can stream 1080p in Netflix, Hotstar, and everything. So that is that. But the because it's M series phone, so it does not have Samsung Pay, Samsung Pass, Secure Folder, Bixby Voice, Vision, Samsung Cloud, Kids Mode, Easy Mode, and Samsung Knox. So it's only available in A series phone, not in M series phone. In terms of performance, it's great because it has a Snapdragon 730G and Adreno 618 GPU. From the benchmark level, you can see that it performs really well, and I think it's a very good chipset. I have gamed it on it. I didn't face any issues or any frame drops in the graphic intensity games. It kind of gets warm, but it's common that if you play a graphic intensity game, it kind of get warms, but it does not get hot. That is the best thing. So I will put a sample so that you can see the gameplay, and also you can check the loudspeaker quality also with that clip. So now let's talk about the camera. It has a 64 megapixel rear camera with Sony IMX682 sensor with f1.8 aperture, and the secondary camera is a 12 megapixel ultra wide sensor instead of the 8 megapixel ultra wide lens you see in the other phones. There is 5 megapixel depth sensor and a 5 megapixel macro sensor to use. On the front you can have the 32 megapixel front camera with Sony IMX616 with f2.2 aperture. Excuse me. So this is a camera. It's a well laid out camera, just like in the Samsung, any other Samsung phone. It has a lot of features. So you can see that there is ultra wide option for the front camera also, but the ultra wide option is the real POV of the front camera. So it has auto mode, food, night, panorama, macro, pro, live focus, super slow mo, slow motion, and hyperlapse. The Pro mode is amazing because it's a full-fledged Pro mode. Unlike other Samsung phones, it can adjust ISO, shutter speed, focus, white balance, and exposure. There is a 64 MB option. If you look into the aspect ratio settings, it also has AR strictures. It also has scene optimizer. It's like the AA mode in other phones. Uh, then there's also single take feature that takes 7 photos and 3 videos with a tap for up to 10 seconds footage, but I find it very gimmicky and I didn't use it at all. And you can see the camera switching is also pretty fast. As you can already see in the software defined by hold is all that it can support the cam to API support, so you can actually use Google camera. Then my favorite thing is that it supports 4K on both front and back cameras, and you can actually use external mic for better audio recording also. That's great to see that. So in terms of vlogging and everything, you can use this phone as such. So let's go to the image quality now. So the primary camera, the daylight shots are pretty good. The camera capture a good amount of details thanks to the Sony IMX sensor, 682 sensor. It's a pretty decently exposed photos with a decent dynamic range and pretty good details. I have put everything in auto, so you can see the HDR kicks in when it is needed. It is kind of slightly saturated if you ask me, but it's look fine, so I'm okay with the saturation it adds up. But unlike the older phones, it is not getting overboard with saturation, so that's also great. Yeah, as you can see that even though it's a 64 megapixel sensor, because of pixel binning, it gives a 16 megapixel picture as the output, which is common, and the autofocus speeds are fast and accurate. In the night is okay pictures, it looks a decent pictures, not okay, but you can use night mode for further enhancing these pictures. You can see that the one with watermark is the normal picture and the one without watermark is the night mode pictures. Night mode takes 2 or 3 seconds to process the images, but the thing is that it kind of zooms in, I don't know why, and it has 8 megapixel resolution, so details is very less as you can see that. But it's okay, I think it's above average. If you use a Google camera, that's the only difference I can see, that whenever I used a Google camera, it has slightly better low light pictures compared to the original camera pictures. I'm not saying that the one I low light camera is completely trash, but compared to the daylight images I got, I think I expect a slightly better performance here. That's it. From these pictures you can kind of identify that if there is some kind of light, it actually takes decent pictures, but if there is very less light, you cannot expect much from this camera. That's the point. Now let's talk about the ultra wide camera, which I kind of like because it's very good in daylight. I really like the details it has, because I have used some other phones with the 8 megapixel ultra wide and I personally didn't like it because it lacked detail. This one has good detail, even though the edges look slightly curved because it's an ultra wide lens. Obviously the shape correction is actually automatically applied and slightly crop the edges, but it does not, it still looks slightly covered. Low light is completely bad, even though if you use night mode it can get slightly more bright pictures, but the low light is not good at all. It's common to any other phone because low light has been not been very good in ultra wide angle pictures in even in many of the flagship itself, so you cannot expect the same. You have to accept that mid-range phones or low-end phones will have a very bad low light, especially in the ultra wide angle. If you want to take good or decent low light images, stick to the primary camera. That's the only thing I can say. So now let's go to the portrait shots. Portrait shots are pretty good, especially the back camera. It takes decent pictures. It has good separation, even though whether it is a human subject or any other subject in front of you. And the front camera portrait is very not that good, so I'm not sharing many of the pictures itself. So the depth sensor works. That's the only thing I can say. The macro shots surprisingly is very good. There is a dedicated macro camera mode in the camera itself, as you can see, but there is no touch to focus option, so it has fixed focus. You have to keep at least 5 centimeter distance to get a good focus on the subject. So that's that for the macro camera. The 32 megapixel front camera is also pretty good, especially in the good light. Wide angle mode takes image in 12 megapixel resolution after pixel binning. Normal mode take 8 megapixel. I like the wide angle mode because it is the POV it has, and the low light it is not right good at all. As I mentioned before, the software blur and the live focus mode does not have these good edge detection on the front camera. Low light mode is not good. This is the rear facing 4K video recording of Galaxy M51 from the main rear camera. The video quality of the phone is pretty good in the daylight. In the low light it's very average. You can see it from the samples, and I will be putting slow motion samples also. This is the 4K ultra video camera sample of Galaxy M51. Hi guys, this is the ultra low light rear camera sample of Galaxy M51. Hi guys, this is the rear facing 4K camera sample of Galaxy M51 in low light. This is the front facing 4K video recording of Galaxy M51. This is the 1080p video camera sample of Galaxy M51 from the front camera. Hi guys, this is the low light front facing camera sample of Samsung Galaxy M51. Conclude, in short, I can say that this is one of my favorite Samsung phone I ever used. See, I have used Samsung's flagship phone and everything, but still, remember this, I have used the flagship phone. I still prefer a Galaxy M51 over these products because of the chipset. That's the Exynos chipset is really worse. Even their flagship products just heats up. So I know the bad experience I had with Galaxy S10. So then you can see that the mid-range Exynos chipset will be worse than flagship chipset. So having a Snapdragon 730G chipset already makes a big change in Galaxy M51. Then we have this amazing big display. Yes, it does not have fast refresh rate. Still, even though it is 60 Hz, it's a great display for content consumption. Then the battery, the 7000 mAh battery is amazing. Uh, it lasts for so long. I don't know. I I cannot say much more than this. Then there is the big display with big battery. The size is very manageable. That's very surprising for me. I have a bigger phone with me. Galaxy P30 Pro is the one that I am using, and I don't think it's bigger than that. That's how well the weight balancing of the product is. I think the weight is controlled because also because it is using plastic. I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think, I'm personally not inclined that a phone should have a glass back because we have to protect it so much. We should be careful with it. Put a big case, a big plastic case to protect it. I'm not very fond of these things. So in that sense, having a plastic phone may make sense, right? Then the cameras are fine. They are not the best cameras I have used, but for the price, it's pretty good. The ultra wide angle is great. At this price point, and what I can say, I'm using Realme 6 Pro, and I have used few Xiaomi phones from my friends, so I know that the ultra wide angle camera is not great in those phones, and the Galaxy M51 ultra wide camera is great. The video recording is amazing. I can say that it has better quality than any of the products in that price range. And even the front camera can record 4K videos. If you are a vlogger, you can actually put up an external mic to record a better audio from this phone. So every way, as an all-round device, this is great. I'm not saying that this is the best ever device ever produced in 25K. uh, I see there is Realme, Xiaomi products that has better processors in this price, and like Realme X3, Redmi K20 Pro and everything like that. But this is a Samsung phone, and Samsung phone, if you are not looking for a Chinese phone, this is your best option available. You can get this for 20K from Amazon with card offers and everything. So it's not a bad deal. And I don't think the display is so great. I mean, I don't think Realme X3 display is as good as the Samsung M51, and the Xiaomi's K20 Pro display is good, but not as big or as great to use as the Galaxy M51. The Samsung tuning makes it super better than these devices. I think for the next edition, I hope the Samsung introduces this 90 hertz display or something like that in this product. Otherwise, I don't see much problems with that at this price range. I still think that this is the best device you should go for at this price point. So, thank you for watching this video. I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.